Whoa.
Welcome to Digital Communicators Club Meeting, 12th of July. It's my great pleasure to welcome you. My name is Nick Lakhani, president of this wonderful club, and we have a show for you today. We have a number of things to show you, to make you listen, to engage you with our members, and we have guests as well. One of the key things I want you to do is to listen and be ready to speak. I want to welcome our Toastmaster of the day. Please welcome the inimitable, the one and only Mr. Dick Klusky.
Well, that's the best introduction I have had tonight. That's terrific. And you're supposed to laugh at that because that's funny. But here we go. It's Toastmasters. It's Digital Communicators. It's Monday night and it's 6:30. Well, just after 6:30. Let's get the show on the road. I was asked to have a theme for the day. And I thought to myself, it's summer. I adore gardening. Don't have much time for it, but I do on Tuesday afternoon and Friday afternoon. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be lovely to have the theme for the day, summer flowers? Isn't that gorgeous? So picture all the flowers, fellow Toastmasters, Mr. President. Picture them beautiful and gorgeous, and picture your first flower. Who is the timer? Audrey Singh Fat. And I was looking at Audrey as I was getting ready to be Toastmaster, and I was thinking, Audrey reminds me of a beautiful rose. So Audrey, would you like to tell the ladies and gentlemen, the boys and girls, the Toastmasters that are here present? I don't think we have any guests, have we? But we'll figure out the guests in a minute. Would you like to tell them everything about what your role in this meeting is? Please welcome Audrey Singh Fat.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Audrey, and this is my first time joining the DCOM as a member. So tonight, my role will be the timer. So I'll make sure that everyone respect its allocated time. So I will show you the green light at the minimum time, and then I will show you the amber light at the mean time and the red light at the maximum time. Let me demonstrate it. So let's say that you have a speech around from 5 to 7 minutes. So at 5 minutes, I'll show you the green light. And then at 6 minutes, I'll show you the amber light. And at 7 minutes, I'll show you the red light. Then you have 30 seconds to wrap up. Please note that if you exceed the 30 seconds, you'll be disqualified. Speakers, evaluators, and people who participate in table topics, don't forget to pin me so that you'll be able to see the traffic lights. And at the end of the session, I'll give you my report. Over to you.
Lovely, that was brilliant. Big round of applause for Audrey. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I love the deaf hands, jazz hands they call it sometimes. The international deaf signal for clapping. It's wonderful because when you see the whole screen of all the gallery view, it looks fantastic for visitors. Everybody doing that. But that's wonderful. And what you didn't say, Audrey, was that your president, Nick, has told me that if anybody goes 30 seconds over, they are going to get and that is very, very loud. I would suggest that nobody goes over 30 seconds. I might do that one. No, I won't. I might do that one. No, I won't. Or I might do. Be careful. And the next person I'd like to introduce, and it's our grammarian. And when I was looking at our grammarian, Colette, because she's a lovely girl, do you know what she reminded me of? Fuchsias. Colette Ainscough is going to tell you all about her role as grammarian. Please welcome Colette Ainscough.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and very welcome guests. I think my girl days are gone, Dec, but you know, you've made me feel good anyway. I love your theme, and the word of the day is, if you can see it here, stupendous. Now, stupendous as a word means impressive. And I believe that tonight, with all of our digital skills, we will all be wholly stupendous as Toastmasters. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot. That's wonderful. Big round of applause. Come on, Kavita, you're not applauding. Everybody, Brian Dodd, why are you not applauding? Thank you very much. That's good. I like to see that. And now, to tell us all about what live reporting is, I discovered that this lady was from Spain, and I love bougainvillea when I go to Spain. It's beautiful. So, will you welcome, please, to tell us what live reporting is all about, Mar Cano Misa.
Thank you very much. Fellow Toastmasters from Digital Communicators and most distinguished guests from wherever you are connecting from, anywhere in the world. Today, I'm taking the challenge of live reporting in this meeting. It means I'll cover digital communicator sessions in 3 different ways. First, I'll be tweeting the highlights of the meeting on Twitter. Just make sure you follow us at Digital Communicators. And we are using these 3 hashtags, DCOMLive, DCOMTMS, and hashtag Toastmasters. Second, I'll be producing a 2-minute video report capturing the most remarkable moments. You'll be able to watch it after a meeting. And third, finally, I write a deeper analysis of the meeting in a blog post that will be released in the coming days. So this is Mar Cano reporting the latest news from Digital Communicators all the way from Fuerteventura. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
And my name is Dec. That's lovely. So the way we like to do this next bit, and these are the serious speeches, and I do mean serious speeches. No schoolboy errors in this stuff. This is good stuff. We've got 2 speeches for you tonight. And what I like to do is introduce you to the evaluator, and the evaluator will be giving an introduction to this speech, and also will be giving a 3-minute vocal evaluation of what she hears. So, would you please welcome to the stage, I'm looking at you, Heidi the Wolf, and I'm thinking that you remind me of this beautiful flower. Isn't that gorgeous? Heidi, I think this suits you down to the ground. So please, would you introduce the first speech? Over to Heidi.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Well, this has kind of put me a little bit on the back foot because I wasn't expecting this.
It's easy. It's easy. All you have to do, let me tell you, all you have to do
leave it
is,
to me.
Okay,
I've got it
go,
sorted. Don't worry. No need to panic. I am here to introduce to you the wonderful Mafazur, who is about to do a speech in his wonderful pathway learning path. He asked me before the meeting to look out for certain things within his speech, which I will be looking at today. He's asked me to look at focal variety, at pauses, at his beautiful rhythm. And because I'm a techie, I will also be looking out for a bit of tech that he maybe can use going forward. I will hesitate no longer to introduce to you the wonderful Mafazur, and I am so privileged to be evaluating him and to be listening to his speech. Mafazur, over to you.
I grew up at a time where you were told if you get a degree from Stanford, Oxford, or Berkeley, you are all set for the rest of your life. There was so much pressure. Pressure from my parents, pressure from my siblings, and the peers. I had big dreams. Internet was fresh. It was promising, full of future. Nobody knew about Silicon Valley. And I promise, Michael Dell, Steve Jobs, they were pretty young. I was Steve Jobs when I was 11. And Google was not a thing. Though I shared the birthday with Google, it was not a thing. Mr. Presiding Officer, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, do you remember your digital journey? Where you started? I remember graduating from university and landing my first job in Toronto. It was full of excitement, full of promise. I was ready to take on the world, solve the next problem. I was traveling between New York, Toronto, and Montreal until I call Montreal my home. But soon after, the dot-com bubble crashed. The whole world fell apart. The economy lost about $5 trillion. And you know what happened to the tech giants? I was working for one of them. My company lost number of contracts. As a result, my job was impacted. I felt that all my dreams are gone. My career is nothing but future-proof. I was screwed. I was screwed big time. I was supporting my parents. I was supporting my extended family, and I was supporting myself. I had nobody here. And I did not know what to do. When was the last time you woke up sweating and you couldn't sleep the rest of the night and the remaining few nights? I was terrified. And I did not know what I was going to do about it. I was really good at my craft. Yes, I am replaceable. And I'm replaceable with thousands others like you. I knew my hard skills. The hard skills that I have is at the core of my success. That prompted me looking for my answer within. I was not going for another job. I was not looking for another job. I am looking for something that keeps me happy. The job is going to look after me. And I found my dream project with the university research. It was sweet. It was something that I really wanted. It was like a blessing in disguise. Blessing that, yes, I'm working on something that's going to solve some of the world's problem. Disguise? I couldn't talk about what I'm working on. because I had a non-disclosure, and still now I can talk about it. No matter what is your craft, no matter what you do. Are you an accountant? Are you a teacher? Or you're a tradesman or a salesperson? What are you working on? What is your craft? What is that you're trying to solve? What is the digital skill that you are going to take to solve others' problem? According to history, the product visionary Steve Jobs, he was not even ready to take on iPhone project until his team persuaded him and say yes. Brené Brown is the courage guru. Seth Godin is the king of marketing. They all did one thing. They picked a domain and they planted their own flag and changed the world that how you used to be. What digital tool and techniques you're going to take in your day-to-day life that could change how you operate every day. According to a Spanish economist, Carlota Perez, we are right in the middle of 5 technological revolution. And this is it. You are in it. You are in the deployment phase of it. And every company is a software company. You have seen the death of Kodak, death of Sears, death of Nortel. Why? Even Nokia. They did not believe in software. And the software, no matter what you do, if you are not believing that you are a software company, you are done. You will be wiped out. You've heard the terms, people, process, and technology. Changing people and process is very daunting. But you can change one thing, that is technology. No matter you work in sales, go build a dashboard that's going to help others. Do something that's going to help others. How are you going to take? How are you going to embrace? And where you plant your flag, that is going to define who you are. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
That was brilliant. That had enjoy me written all through it for me. So what I would like to say to you now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody, Mr. President, everybody. Oh, by the way, there was a little bit of a delay. Never seen that millisecond delay I've ever on Zoom, but I saw it tonight. That's very strange, very strange. I'll have a chat with you afterwards and find out what that was all about. Maybe it was your side. Don't know. Maybe in Mauritius, that's what you do. But 1 minute, please, Madam Timer. Would you give me time, 1 minute, so everybody can do a little mini evaluation and put it on the chat, please. There we are.
Minute
1
is
minute.
over.
That's it. Yeah. As I say in the examination rooms when you're at school, please put your pens down. Everybody pens down. Now I'm looking at you, Chrisen Ramchurn, and I'm thinking to myself, Chrisen.
Not a flower, for the love of God, not a flower.
Wait now, wait now, wait now. Wait till you see what I've got for you, Chrisen. I can imagine you covered in butterflies. Covered in butterflies, because you are sturdy, strong, masculine, everything that goes with that. You are a butterfly. Please, would you introduce your speaker?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Though I'm very much unfazed and disturbed by this emotionally, I'm still going to carry on. And our second speaker of this session is none other than Kavita Dulai, who is looking to test a specific message of hers. So she's not doing a pathways speech, she's doing a generic speech. And she has 3 specific objectives. Number 1, to communicate with clarity. Number 2, to have a balanced viewpoint. And number 3, to encourage everyone, or as many of us who are listening to her to share what she is going to share. So those are the 3 objectives. I'm going to post them in the chat for your feedback as well, Tawasa. And I have a specific request for our timer. Kavita is looking to have audible signals. So can you please support her on that? Maybe it could be green, yellow, and red, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
You get to introduce.
All right, so please put your hands together for the fantastic Kavita Dulai. Let's talk about sustainability. Let's talk about sustainability, Kavita Dulai. And you're muted.
Working out the tech, guys.
Go, go, go.
Okay, I'm here. Just wait a minute, guys. Thank you. This speech was passed on to me by somebody at D91 conference. And I promised myself then, and I promised my children, that I would do this speech at some point. So here goes, here's my opportunity. So thank you. It was passed on to me like a relay race. I felt I'm in a race. I felt it being passed on to me. Today, I want to pass it on to you. Sustainability is a massive, massive topic. And I'm trying to condense it into 5 to 7 minutes in the Toastmasters style. For the purpose of this presentation, I'm going to stick to the big picture. And we're going to talk about we're going to try and understand where we are on the sustainability scale. What does it mean? I'm going to share with you a very simple definition of sustainability and why we're in trouble and what we can all do about it. So before I launch into the presentation, let's run a little poll to see where we are on the sustainability scale yeah, what's our understanding? So Julian, can we share the poll, please? Has it been shared, Julian?
Not yet, not yet. Working on that. Sorry
right.
about that.
All right. So I know nothing about sustainability. I have an understanding of the basic concepts. I know quite a bit. I am a sustainability champion. So please take your pick and be completely honest, because I was when I did this.
Sorry, I'm struggling to launch it.
Do you have all the results?
We have 11, 12, or 14 that have voted. Let's have another 5 seconds and then shall we share the results?
Thank you, Nick.
Okay.
Do we have the results?
Yes. Would you like me to share?
Yes, please.
There you go.
Okay, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. So I'll be honest with you. I knew nothing about sustainability. All I knew was sustainability was somewhere on packaging. I would read it and I would think, oh, okay, sustainable product. It's environmentally friendly. But I think what really caught my attention was that my children knew so much more than I did. And they were sharing little stories with me, like they felt the earth was going to end, all that sort of thing. And that's the sort of thing we actually quite often feel as children. Oh my God, the earth's going to come to an end at midnight, all this sort of thing. And then when I heard this presentation, I thought I'm really going to look into this. So let's go on to the next slide. Sorry, my slide is stuck. Okay, sticking to the big picture. So the definition of sustainability is, this is the simplest definition I found, was it's meeting the needs of our current society, of our current community, of ourselves, and yet at the same time being able to meet the needs of the future generations. So as it stands at the moment, we are not really living a sustainable lifestyle. We are burning up fossil fuels faster than you could ever imagine. So Barack Obama said, we are the first generation to feel the effects of climate change. And we are the last generation who can do something about this. So the effects of climate change are already are being felt in some countries. I know we're from all over the world, so it may be that you've got personal experience from some of these effects. So for example, these forest fires, they're supposed to happen, but not as much as they do, and as long as they do. And then we have flash flooding that just happens. And then on the other scale, we've got droughts that just happen. So the wildlife organizations, they have summarized some of the effects of climate change. This is the effects of, sorry?
It's green.
Okay, sorry. These are effects of the global temperatures rising. So there's a lot of information on this on this poster, but the one thing I want to share with you, I think that really stuck out to me, was because of all these climate changes and flash flooders and droughts, this is going to mean that around 2 billion people are going to be on the move because they cannot live on the land they have been. So that means there's going to be some mass migration. Now, why is this happening? It is happening because of carbon that's coming from the burning of fossil fuels. So this carbon is supposed to be absorbed by the natural environment, the natural sinks, but it doesn't, because we are burning faster than the earth can deal with. So a lot of it ends up in the atmosphere. So basically what's happening is the atmosphere, it's like a blanket around the earth. So if we start thinking about where is the carbon coming from, and this is where we can make the biggest difference as consumers, 25% comes from electricity production. So that means we can start switching lights off, don't use more than we have to. 24% comes from food and agriculture. So maybe for some of us, it means moving to a more vegetarian diet, and 20% comes from industry and 14% from transport. So we could start traveling by buses more. As consumers, we have a lot of power. There is a lot of things we can do individually. If we take a collective action, we will make a difference. There are lots of waves that come and go. For example, there's the COVID wave. This will be gone. The recessions, they go, they come and go. But the climate change is probably one of the biggest waves. And I feel we just need to make a difference, all of us. And I'm 100% certain we all can. So in summary, we all care. This was a survey that was done by United Nations. 1.2 million were surveyed. And what it showed was, it wasn't just the young people, because quite often it's just the young people that really sort of, you know, are the rebels, if you like, and they care, but everybody cares. There's a lot we have already achieved. For example, the hole in the ozone layer. I don't know if you remember that. We've actually managed to close it now. I know I'm reaching the end of my time, so I really want to say with you, I'd like us to all work together to create a better environment, and we all can. It's just being aware what we're doing with the carbon. Are we traveling more than we need to? Are we leaving the lights on more than we need to? Can we change our diet? There is a brighter future. This is a 20-minute presentation condensed into 5 to 7 minutes, but I hope you've got the main message. Thank you for your time.
Forgive me for that, but time is of the essence, and always remember, I've always been told in Toastmasters, you are simply stealing the time from somebody else.
No, sorry.
It's worth remembering that.
Sorry.
And also, it's always worth remembering that you will never be asked to speak. You will always be asked to speak for 3 minutes, for 5 minutes, for 7 minutes, for 12 minutes. And they pay you according to your professionalism. If you don't deliver the goods, you won't get paid, baby. But there we go. That was lovely. I tell you what, that was a speech that was rich, and that was quality. So let's have another minute, please. There we are, starting there, a minute for a nice little written evaluation in the chat, please. There we go. Is that okay, Audrey? So now, Audrey, would you please give us a report on the speeches and the bits and pieces so far? Over to you, Audrey.
The first speaker took 7 minutes and 24 seconds, and the second speaker took 8 minutes and 23 seconds. Unfortunately, Toastmaster Kavita is disqualified.
Disqualified from what?
I'm going home deck. Is that okay? I'm switching off. Over and out.
Who is that speaking? Who was that speaking? Because I haven't got you up on the screen. Okay.
That was Kavita.
Kavita. Oh, lovely. That was a lovely speech, actually.
Over and out,
good.
yeah?
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, fine. Now, let's get on. We've just done the timing report, and now a man I've got great respect for. And when I thought what he looks like, I thought an azalea. Yeah? An azalea type of person, strong, robust. But he's going to give us a topics session. And this is going to be a topic section with a difference, because after each topic, he's then going to ask for somebody to give a 1 minute live evaluation. So could I ask, please, for the man himself to come forward to give us the greatest topic session ever, the marvelous, the wonderful, the sensational Vincent Neary.
Good evening. Yes, we have our table topic session and we start with Pam. Pam, you've got 2 minutes.
You've lost me, Vincent. Are you giving me a question?
Yes, have a look. Don't you see the picture?
Sorry, I can see it now.
Okay.
Oh, I don't really know what to say about this. You've come to the wrong person here. You know, I'm a bit of an animal rights activist, so I don't like the look of this. And I would guess here what happens. This could be one of these trophy hunters. So you see these people, don't you, that like to go and chop animals' heads off and pose with them. So I'm guessing this is what's happened here, and it makes me want to be sick. I can't understand why anybody would want to trophy hunt any animal, and I actually would give them the strongest prison sentence I possibly could. I think it should be up there with murder and abusing children. People that can go out and hunt animals just for fun is wrong on so many levels. But I'm going to look at this and say, it's not that. Someone hasn't taken this leopard's head to put on their wall. I'd like to think that. I'm going to say it's a form of art and someone has done a very good impression of doing a painting. It actually makes me feel sick because I can't even look at animal blood. I can't look at any blood. But yeah, I'm going to say it's a really clever painting and that's all it is. And it's somebody's way of interpreting their artistic impression. What they're trying to interpret, I don't know. But as I can see the green light on, I'm going to leave it there and just say, I hope it's not a trophy hunter. Thank you, Vincent. Back to you.
Thank you, Pam. Wonderful. Brilliant. Now, Brian, why don't you give us a quick shotgun evaluation, please? Brian, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, I can see the picture. Well, I'm against hunting any animals for that matter. I remember I got a 22 gun when I was about 18, and I went out to shoot a rabbit, but I shot a squirrel because I couldn't find a rabbit. And I felt so bad afterwards that I gave the gun to my mother, and I've never owned a gun since that time. But I agree with Pam that the people that to go out and shoot trophy, hunt for trophies are, I don't understand them. I know people who have done it, and people spend a lot of money. I knew one fellow that even went to northern Canada and hunted the muskox up there, which was you really had to pay a lot of money just to go in there in order to shoot that. The fee was high enough. And he had a whole room, a great big room with trophies in it. But we don't need to be killing animals. They said that there was about 2 billion animals that died in the heat wave that we just had here in British Columbia.
Brian, you only had 1 minute to, maybe you didn't see the timer, but it's just a quick, very quick evaluation. You only have 12 minutes for the table topics. I would like to call on Philip from the lovely island of Curacao. Philip, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Well, there you have your topic, Philip.
Cauliflower, not a cauliflower, but a broccoli. I'm sorry. I love cauliflowers, but I also love broccoli. Broccoli is a plant that's been provided by nature. It is very nutritious. It's a beautiful green. I love it when it's green. It states that it's really fresh. If it gets yellow, I don't want it at all. And my children, I had a lot of problems to make them eat it. but it's a very, very nutritious plant. I love to really just put a little bit of water in the pan, a little bit of butter, and just cook it that way. I dislike when people put lots of water, boils it, and I believe that it boils the life out of it and all the goodness. So I really love broccoli. It's a little expensive, but then we cannot eat the money. So I always love to buy it and enjoy it. Topic master.
Thank you very much, Philip. Stupendous Julian. Could you give us a shotgun evaluation, please?
No, I can't. Sorry, I apologize.
I can go for it, please.
Okay, Rinku, can you give us from the lovely Middle East, from
Yes.
Qatar? Lovely
you,
Rinku.
Thank you, Vincent, for the opportunity. Philip, what a start with a big love. Ha, ha, ha. You grabbed everybody's attention. Believe me, I was looking forward. What's next? You describe the cauliflower is freshness by the color green. You connected with your personal stories. You didn't forget that we get connected with personal stories, that your children don't like it. So am I. My children don't like it either. But they need to eat. Then we can't eat money. It's so true. We can't eat money. Our health is wealth. All this bingo. I was looking for more benefits of a broccoli, like it has antioxidant power which can kill cancer cells. If you could have added, because we have been eating cauliflower. Overall, good job. Well done on your impromptu speech. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you very much, Rinku. Now, Mehul, would you like to take this topic?
Yeah, okay. Remove the mute. Good. When I was young, one day I went with my family to a circus. Where at that time we had a lot of animals. Some people, for one thing, was very, very common. From the beginning to end, our jaws were open, our mouths were open. We said, wow. It's a human expression which takes us to the journey from the being normal person to get into the excitement, and we start forgetting what is happening around us. It's not necessary who you are. You can be a common person. You can be, just a minute, I am struggling to find out where is my time card before I go over. Okay, you can be anything. Still, one thing is there, a human, and that is we change our emotion. We change our excitement, and we do share that is common. No matter what, you are black, white, brown, Caucasian, or coming from anywhere. We are all same. Our jaws drop when we see something unusual. We see something which excites us. Thank you very much. My jaw dropped actually a couple of times during the speeches of some people, and especially Rinku's evaluation. Thank you very much. Thanks for taking me here.
Thank you, Mehul. Thank you for coming. Nick, stupendous Nick, would you give us a shotgun evaluation, please?
Absolutely. What I really liked about Mehul, first of all, was that he jumped right in. He started with, when I was a small child, and he drew us in with a story about going to the circus, kept us on tenterhooks throughout, and explaining to us why it is important for us to actually remind ourselves that we are all human. We're all the same under whatever skin we have, and that the jaw dropping is a human trait that is common to all of us. And he gave us examples of why it would be. And one of the key things is he brought us into a state where we can actually then feel good about ourselves. Doesn't matter what kind of day that we had, but we feel good about ourselves, about being human and being alive. I would recommend, that was a commendation I would recommend, just on the physical aspect, just watch your headspace, make the camera a little bit lower and show us a bit more hand gestures. But otherwise, fantastic, Mehul. We'd love to have you as a guest here. And we hope you enjoy it and enjoy your stay in Manchester. Back to you,
very much,
Mr. Topics Master.
Thank you very much, Nick. A brilliant evaluation. Thank you, all 6 of you have been brave to stand here and give us impromptu speeches. Back to our table, back to our Toastmaster of the evening, Deck. Thank you.
Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Let's hear it. Come on, 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 come on. That was real serious quality, Vincent. That was. I love the way you almost stumped people. You know, the shock on people's faces. It was wonderful. Very different. Very good. I'm going to nick that idea, and I mean, I think I would go even more outrageous. That would be good.
It is Digital Communicators' ideas. It's not mine. So therefore, we have been practicing this since January.
Brilliant, brilliant. I'm going to definitely nick it. Consider it nicked. So, could we go over, please, to our Pweenie lady? Our Pweenie lady. You know who it is? It's Audrey Singh Fat. Please, some timings. Thank you, Audrey.
Here's my timing report. So Pam took 1 minute 20 seconds. Philip took 1 minute 15 seconds. And Mehul took 1 minute 38 seconds. And all the evaluators were within time. They give their evaluation under 1 minute. Over to you.
Thank you very, very much. Now, you will notice that I made a mistake there on purpose. I just wanted to see whether people were awake or not, because Audrey is actually the Rose lady, and we now have the Pweenie lady coming up, who's going to do the first evaluation of the first speech. The first speech was given to by Mahfasar Rahman, and here she comes. It is Heidi the Wolf.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. What a fantastic speech, and what a privilege to listen to it. I would like to make a couple of comments on the things that Mahfasar has asked me to focus on. First, something very incredible Mahfasar did. He engaged his audience through questions. Not just one question, but a same question put in 4 or 5 different ways. He started by saying, do you remember your digital journey? Then he said, what is your craft? What are you working on? And where do you plant your flag? All those 4 questions put in different ways, but actually meaning the same thing. What is your purpose in life? A very powerful way to engage your audience. The second thing I loved was that at times Mahfasar used vocal variety, and I particularly listened out for things, the variety of his voice when he said certain things. And one thing that really jumped out was when he started saying non-disclosure. He really made his voice change just to match the wording of non-disclosure. He said it really quietly, which was beautifully done. And actually, I would encourage him to do more of that throughout his speech. The third thing I noticed was his stupendous references. Oh my goodness, Brené Brown. I can't mention them all. I only wrote down a couple, but fantastic to tap into other people's expertise and to bring that in such a powerful way to your own speech, because that adds to your reputation as a good speaker, because you tap into the knowledge of other people. There's a few things I would like to note in terms of your pauses, which you'll ask me to look out for. your pausing is good, but do it in context. When you've posed a question, it worked really well that you finished with a pause. But what I noted is that you also use pauses when you do your storytelling of your speech. And at that time, your pauses can get a bit, your story can lose momentum. So be careful of when you use your pauses, I would say. But what a fantastic speech overall. I think there's a lot we can all learn from your speech. And thank you so much for giving me the privilege to evaluate you. I will also look at your script and I will give you further feedback beyond. But thank you, Mahfazur, and I look forward to the next speech. Thank you.
That was stupendous, stupendous, stupendous. You, Heidi, you are a ringmaster of words. Who is that young lady who has just joined us? Rinka Saha, is that your beautiful daughter? She is stunning. She must be an actress, is she? I know, I saw her in the last Star Wars. That was you, wasn't it?
She's one of my flower, yes, and she's
Oh,
future
lovely. I'll
master.
say, look, can I put up, this is a special, what's her name? What's her name?
What's your name?
Mishta, this is especially for you. Look at my screen, and this is especially for you.
What's it?
Wow, it's so colorful flowers.
Do you like those flowers?
Which one is me? She's asking which one is me.
Well, the flower, I would say the one immediately above the E. See where summer, the one immediately above the E, that is you. And that's beautiful.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
And Misha, would you mind now if I introduce somebody else?
No,
would you
say
mind?
no.
May I have your permission, please?
Say okay, go ahead.
All you have to just say, Deck, you may introduce the next person.
Say Deck.
Deck.
You may introduce.
You may
introduce
the
other person, please.
The other person, please.
Oh, wonderful. Big round of applause for Misha. Yay! Yay!
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
So, Kristen, I'm looking at you, Kristen, and you are unmuted already. Kristen Ramchurn is ready, and this is the Budleya man. Isn't that wonderful? The Budleya man is now going to give us a fantastic evaluation for the incredible speech which was given by Kavita Dulai. Over to you.
Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about sustainability. Did you get the message that we need to protect our environment? And thank you, Rinku, for bringing the next generation, because it's not about us, it's about them. Kavita, you did a few things nicely. Here they are. The visuals, as you were speaking, you also had slides where the images were not only aligned with what you were trying to share, but also impactful. When I saw that picture of the fire, I was shocked and I had to just pause and watch. Thank you for getting me engaged. You had a structure. You opened, you had a body, and you closed, but you did something interesting. You practiced at the start telling me what you were going to tell me. You told me, and then at the end, you told me what you told me. That's quite cheeky, and I loved it. You also had a crystal clear voice, and even better, I could understand each and every single word. Thank you for that. And the message, it is forever important, because if we don't protect our environment, who else will do it? What I also found entertaining was the personal experience, learning from your children, where the inspiration comes from. You had that moment where you shared that you were learning from your children, and that's what you're sharing. That was nicely done. Now, Kavita, how do we take this message of yours and improve on it? Well, let's focus on the 3 objectives you had. Objective number 3, the balanced viewpoint. Well, I was a bit on par with that because at times I wanted you to say things that I wanted to hear, and at times they were not coming. Two things that can be improved here are, number one, the setting of the scene. It's at the start, and I think I'm also to be blamed here because I didn't help you. I was introducing you. That introduction you do, this is a speech that was important to me, 20-minute speech, 7 minutes. That doesn't add any value to what you're sharing to your audience and to me. Number two is the Zoom poll. And here I'm going to quote Napoleon Bonaparte. If you want a thing done well, do it yourself. Something that could have taken seconds took nearly 2 minutes. So lesson learned here for next time. And number three is the close. I heard you say in summary, and I'm like, okay, she's going to wrap up. And she keeps on giving me a couple of slides. I'm like, okay, I'm a bit confused. Is there another speech coming up next? So those didn't really help with a balanced viewpoint. The other element, number two of your speech, the clarity part. Your words were clear, the spoken words, the words themselves. There were a bit of words that could have been dropped. I am going to share the big picture. Why not just share it? I'll be honest with you. So were you lying to me at some point? Didn't really help. Having said that, the visuals as well. I would love you next time to test the visuals, make sure that they flow, align with what you want to share. At the same time, you could have skipped you, visual, play with that. It does take practice, but the practice will make you become the speaker that I would love to see and hear every single time. And did I feel encouraged to share the message? A bit. If I listen to it next time with the improvements, definitely. What I love the most, Kavita, from your speech was the logos element. So much information, so much infographics. That wowed me away. Kavita, keep doing what you're doing, work on the improvements, and I think the next speech of this message is going to be wow. Mr. Toastmaster.
Brilliant. Kristen, that was wonderful. I tell you what, I love your energy. But what I want to know is, when do you breathe in? I'll get run out of town for that. That's good. Well, that was fantastic, Kristen. I loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. And now over to our timer, please. Audrey, sing fat. Would you regale us with the fantastic times for the last few items? Thank you.
Okay. Heidi took 3 minutes and 2 seconds, and Christian took 4 minutes. He was over time. Thank you. Over to you.
And I actually didn't, because I thought I was a little bit naughty with Kavita, and I thought with Kristen, I'll be a little bit nice. You see what I get for being...
I didn't want to leave my speaker alone by being over time, so I joined her.
You see what I get for being nice? I just get accused of being nice. But let's go over now to have we got the timers report, and now I'm going to go over to our beautiful and lovely grammarian, who is an Irish girl. So obviously I love her to bits because I love all Irish people. And I love her because she smells of fuchsias. She's a lovely young girl from Ireland, what we call a Colleen in Ireland. Colleen Das, which means a nice girl. Please give us your grammarian report. Colette Ainscough. Here she goes.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, and I am Irish, and you know the way we love the crack. Well, I feel like saying to you, Mr. Toastmaster, Deck, get out of that garden. Anyway, Mr. Toastmaster, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters and guests, the word stupendous was used a total of 6 times tonight, and that includes 1 time in the chat. I would like to point out a few things. First of all, on Deck's team as Toastmaster of the day, which was Summer, I loved all the flowers that he had, and I know all of those flowers. So we had the peony, the azalea, the rose, the fuchsia, the buddleia, beautiful flowers. I love those words. Thank you. I would like to comment on a couple of the speakers. And we had Heidi introducing Mafsur, and as she did so, she said, hesitate no longer. I thought that was a lovely phrase. Mafsur, during his speech, talked about hard skills that are at the core of success, and how it's a blessing in disguise working on solving the world's problems. I particularly liked his quote from Carlota Perez. We are in the middle of a tech revolution, and we know that as digital communicators. Kavita said, gave us a quote from Barack Obama. We are the first generation to feel the effects of climate change and the last generation to be able to change it. Wow. I would also like to comment on Kavita's use of language in her speech, which really made me think of how concepts and language relates to a particular subject. She was using words like global temperature, sustainability, floods, atmosphere, carbon, mass migration, all those concepts that are so important on her subject topic, which was absolutely fantastic. One other thing, Rinku gave a shotgun evaluation of Philip, and he used perfectly repetition when she started off by saying, Philip, Philip, Philip. I mean, it just grabbed my attention straight away. The art of repetition is very effective. Mehul took a topic and started off by saying, when I was young. Now, I mean, it's such a simple phrase, but you just straight away want to listen to what he's going to say. And finally, I would like to compliment Christian in also going back to the digital idea. He talked of setting the scene and of testing the visuals. That's the end of my grammarian report. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Brilliant. And may I say to my Irish colleague, Colette, repetition is called epizeusics. Epizeusics. The famous one is Maggie Thatcher when she went, no, no, no. The lady is not returning. That's epizeusics. Sounds posher than saying repetition. There's a tip for you, Colette, for nothing. Now we go over to our general evaluator. Now this lady, I'm looking at her and she's still muted, but she's not going to be muted for very long. She's going to be unmuted. She's going to be unmuted. She's going to be unmuted. Now she's unmuted. Now we can get on. And she reminds me of every flower of the summer. Every flower of the summer. Would you please welcome for a lovely general evaluation of everything that hasn't been evaluated so far in this meeting. Please welcome, with a huge round of applause, the lovely lady, Pilar Sunudo. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters and guests. Here is my general evaluation report for today's meeting. Firstly, I would like to say that I arrived at the meeting at 6, where Philip Gons hosted the greeting room and got everyone talking. That was great. The meeting started at 6:33, so 3 minutes later. Nick introduces our Toastmaster of the day, Nick Kluske. Nick's experience as a public speaker evident and encouraged us to use jazz hands to support role takers and speakers. I think he did a really brilliant job. His vivid presentation for the different sections of the meeting, for me, it was amazing. He did very nice when he interacted with the Rinku child, and he invited to be our improvised Toastmaster. Amazing for me. Colette introduces the word of the day, stupendos, and I consider it has been an stupendous meeting. About table topics that Vincent ran it up, he used very creative images. I would like he has used more variety of images. And I will remark the great job that table topics evaluators did. For me, feedback is an amazing gift for every one of us, and is the perfect way to improve. So Heidi gave an excellent evaluation, but you will have I would like, sorry, you have done it standing up. And Chris also gave an excellent evaluation, but I think he was moving a little bit. Probably it's my impression. In any case, congrats to both of you. So the meeting didn't kick off on time. It was 3 minutes late starting, which we need to watch. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Wonderful, Pilar. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That was lovely. Now, we're coming to the end of my part. Big R. Everybody says a big R. So you're wandering through the Volkswagens of the hills at Beachy Head, downward towards the submarines, which are on the beach adjacent to the flowers of the trees. We go by the road and we listen to the chimneys as they whisper that it is getting on in time. It is getting on towards the end of this Toastmasters meeting. Not the end, the finality, the final minutes of this meeting. And as you listen to my rubbish, you're wondering, what is this idiot on? He is amazing. He is wonderful. He is Dek Kluski. And I'm now going to hand you over to your president. I had a terrible job trying to find something of the summer flowers for this man, because he is huge, he is immense, he is an incredible species. He is Nick. He is our president. And this is what I came up with. That is the man that I am going to introduce you to, Mr. Nick Lakani.
Thank you very much, Dek. I'm so glad you're out of your shell now. I mean, really. Some of you may not know, Dek's been in show business more than any of us have been alive. Okay, so what a star, and what a great show today. Really appreciate it. I appreciate all the speakers and all the evaluators, all the role players. Fabulous job. Now, we have a couple of important things I would like to cover right now for the next few minutes. And then I'm going to come to our guest Mehul, and I want to hear his take on what he saw and heard today. Mehul, you're sticking around for the next few minutes, correct? Okay, fabulous. Now, one of the things that I'd like to do today is to just pay tribute to the charter board that we had. We at our first meeting on Monday, the 11th of January. We chartered in February. It's like a Craig David song, isn't it? Now, one of the things that we did was we chartered very quickly with 25 members. We're now 35. Wow. We have some new members in the room right here over the last few weeks. The charter board laid the foundation for us to create this club. Before then, we had nothing. We only had Joseph, Ola, Julian, and myself sitting in a virtual pub saying, what should we do on a Monday night? And we said, wouldn't it be great to have another club? Yes, why don't we do that? And there was a meeting round about the 30th of December, I think it was, we just said, let's invite a few people. What date shall we do it? 11th of January, just 12 days away. And that's what we did. We just put on a show. And that's what the charter board took on and brought forward to what we have today. There are going to be some changes from July the 1st, from last week. of the Charter Board. And what I'd like to do is to honor the 4 officers who are going to be moving on, but also then honor the new board that we have with us. Now, I know that we have an unwritten rule saying no PowerPoint, but today we've decided we may as well just have one last PowerPoint, okay? Now, have a look at the PowerPoint on there, and you can see how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 officers. So Azra, Ola, Vincent, and Mafazor, congratulations. Thank you from all of us for serving the club, for laying the foundation, as I said, for creating teams that are still moving forward, for making sure that we have the short-term survival of the club and a great future for this club. And I salute you. Well done, everybody. Please open up your mics, give them a big round of applause. Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you all. Now, what that means is we have a new board in place, and I have actually have the next new board right here. So this is our incoming board for 21-22. We have VPM Pam Rowley, Secretary Dec Kluski, VPPR Pamela Benjamin, Club Mentor Lois and Azra. We have VP Tech Marcano, VPE Colette Ainscoe, Treasurer Juliet, and myself. I just open up the room really every Monday or every other Monday. One of the keys is that we want to go forward from this solid platform that has been built and build digital communicators. We want to get better at digital communication. And I will tell you one thing right now. I pledge to you, by September the 1st, I will have done a presentation to this club, not in PowerPoint, but in Prezi. That's my promise to you. And I want you to decide which tool you're going to learn and show off in this club. Not because you have to, but because you want to. That is the challenge that I set for you today. You have the ability to help your members, your fellow members. You have the ability to help your board. You have the ability to help your club by not only being an officer, which some of you are, but by joining their teams. So I know that Colette, that Pam, that Pamela, and that Ma are looking for support in their endeavors. If you're not sure where to go, just talk to them, try out a month of doing certain specific projects with them. Do something. Don't be a passenger here. Otherwise, nobody wants to come and just watch this TV show. I want you to take part. I want you to be the producer. I want you to be the person shooting the film. I want you to be the sound person. I want you to be the editor. I want you to be inspired by the wonderful people that we have in this club and go forward, learn your digital skills, excel, and tell your friends about us. Congratulations to the Charter Board. Congratulations to the new board for 21 and 22. I salute you. You're fabulous, and I'm so happy to be working with you. Good luck. Thank you. What I'd like to do is to call upon our visitor, Mehul. Now, Mehul emailed me a few hours ago. Mehul, tell me, what's your takeaway from today's meeting?
Sure. Mr. President and the fellow members of the club. It was, this is the first time I was attending the fully digital club, which was an experience for me as well. And maybe then I didn't realize that my hair was chopped off in this. But it was interesting because this is the time we can really bring the people together from all around the world. And that is really amazing. It's a really amazing experience because wherever you go with the normal Toastmasters club, you have like a 70-30 kind of a ratio where the 70% are really from the same country or the area, and the 30% are moving population. Here, everyone are saying, amazing concept. I really liked it. And the way it was presented today, the Toastmasters, yes, then I realized in the end, I understood that he is already actually the presenter and he's in this show business for a long time. But I was really envious and jealous to see that so good people are with their Zoom skills to show the side-by-side screens, to change the background on the go, also the timer, actually bringing it nicely at the right time, actually the picture. Only thing which I know is how people are coping up with the two screens of the timer actually in the background. And I was struggling to find out where is the timer lights. Apart from that, it was fantastic. I really liked. I like the people. I like the club. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much for letting me guest here.
Thank you, Mehul. Thank you for coming today, and hopefully we'll see you next time.
Yeah, of course. Actually, I see actually because probably I will become the member as well. So we'll be in touch anyway. Thanks.
Okay. Well, get in touch with Pam, and she'll show you the ropes.
Sure.
Okay. Fabulous. Now, since the last meeting, we've had a few more members. I don't know whether you. I think I sent it out in the WhatsApp chat. We achieved 10 out of 10. I believe, is that right? Is that 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 we achieved? Somebody tell me. 10? We achieved 10 out of 10 for our DCP points? Really? We've been going for 4 months. Some clubs spend the whole year and don't get anywhere near. So again, this is my challenge to you. How can you better that? I'll tell you how. With education. You get as many awards as you can because there is a league table. Even after you reach the 6 education points, you can go and get more. Go get as many education points because we want to encourage our people to speak and do their projects in Pathways. In terms of membership, I'm wanting to make sure that we do the simple things right. We want to have like-minded people who are interested in online presentation and using digital tools to give their presentations, to help them. We're committed to that. Attend the club officer training. If you're not an officer, you can still go and attend, and so on. So there are a number of things that we can all do. Look out for the new year, look out for the messages, look out for the emails, read them. There is some interesting things in there. Ultimately, the more you put in this club, the more you will get out. And it's time for me to call a halt, to thank you everybody for watching, listening, being here. Same time, 2 weeks time, Monday, the 26th of July. See you then. Please stop the recording, Mr. Producer.